it was kind of a two-part process of finding Frances. The first part being the writing part that I did with Noah, which took about a year, and then after that it was finding her as an actor. And for me, they're two very different things. And the writing part, we really found her together by writing scenes and listening to her talk. And that sounds really goofy, but it's true. It's almost like you write, it's almost like you take down the voices in your head. And then
were you guys having conversations about, oh, I have this idea for this film about this young woman transitioning from post-college to adulthood? And
we wanted to make a movie that Noah thought that I could be in, that we could make, but we started out with a list of ideas that were just kind of like little moments or characters or dialogue exchanges, and then that grew into what it became. But it wasn't really about me. It was about this character that emerged from the writing. And I mean, I think we were both interested in that moment of like, you're too far out of college for this to be cute anymore. You're now almost 30. Right. It's over.
It's time to get together,
it's
right?
time to pack it up.
Greta and I had made Greenberg together, and Greta acted in it. But then I thought it'd be fun to do something else, and I was kind of just exploring that idea with Greta, I mean, initially, and then it turned into this script. But I wasn't, I mean, of course, because I have a different perspective on it, and maybe that's why it's in black and white, because it's historical for me. But right. But even that was more instinctive. I just had a very clear idea about what this could be at the same time that I had no idea what it was going to turn out to be. We kind of really did just listen to it and follow it, and we weren't thinking in broad strokes about, oh, this is about being 27, this is about female friendship. I mean, these things all came in the best way, I think, when writing is going well, which was from exploration. Probably most directors want to at some point try to make a movie in black and white, and but
I think it feels a little nostalgic in a way. I mean,
yeah,
it's like a period that you've already passed, but it's kind of looking back on it.
And the story and the character felt so contemporary, and Greta is so present, and and I thought it should be funny and joyful and light and romantic and the feeling of youth and mm-hmm. Of modern love, and I always like to bring personal stuff into the movies, even if it has no actual bearing. I mean, I made a movie called The Squid and the Whale, which had personal stuff in a more kind of overt way, and I had dressed Jeff Daniels in my dad's clothes, and that was I like to do that anyway, to bring stuff that I have connection to. I mean, even shooting at Vassar here, because I went to Vassar, it brought stuff up for me that have nothing to do with the actual scenes we were shooting, but I just feel it's like, I think it's a good creative space to be in. And so New York City is that for me, because every street I have some feeling about, and particularly Brooklyn, where I grew up, and it's a place I love working in. I mean, obviously it's a beautiful city too, and shooting it in black and white does this whole other thing, because there's a tradition of New York in black and white. I think that's it. It's like it's like having like putting my dad's corduroy jacket on somebody.
Right. I mean, I was proud of the writing, and I thought it was a really good script, and I think that there's always a fear when you take on something as an actor that I think right before you start, you think, what if I'm not the right person for this, and it's really good, and I don't want to mess it up, and I think I was experiencing that with this thing that we wrote, and I think a lot of the way that I discovered her was through the other actors that we cast. Mickey Sumner, who plays Sophie, and Mike Zegan and Adam Driver and Charlotte Dambois. They all were so great, and they were so well cast and specifically cast, and really great actors. And I feel that what they gave me allowed me to find the perimeters of what Frances was. And when Mickey auditioned for Sophie, suddenly when I was acting against her, it was like, there's Frances. She came out to play because that's Sophie. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I felt like that was a big part of it. And then also the way Noah shot the movie was, it wasn't far away, but it was far enough away that I could kind of do a full body performance, that I wasn't just acting with my face or my voice. It felt like it could really be embodied. And I think getting that entire physicality of who Frances was, from her clogs to her backpack to her bomber, and then making her run, it really, that's who she was. And then all of a sudden she was there. But sometimes you don't get to find the full body version of a character because you never get to really do a scene all the way out in a space with enough freedom. And so it was really, it felt just full and big as a character. I really enjoy stepping back and being an actor in something. I just always feel a little, when you write it and you act in it, it feels like making a cake and eating the cake that you just made all by yourself. And that feels gluttonous.